Hey everyone, welcome to Books and Brew. It's been a while. It's certainly been a while, guys. We've had life. Life has been kicking us in the butt lately, but we've been going on. Magic at Mostad is still going strong every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I've been pregnant.
Yeah, we have a pregnancy here in the house, and we got all of our baby stuff off in the corner. We got ourselves a rubber ducky.
Not all of our stuff.
Not all of our stuff, but we're still going. Oh, well, that goes there. We've got a hair thing, so you can wash their hair.
What fell out?
Oh, it's just one of the magnets.
Oh, it's underneath your chair.
That's fine. Yo, Shady! What's going on? Today has been crazy. Today's been super crazy. Hey, Shady, now that you're here, I was gonna just tell you, Amber, but you already know. At work, we got to see our new new office.
It didn't sound like a studio was included.
It's not really a studio, but we're working things out to see if anything else can work out. But brand new walls, brand new carpets, everything is central aired. It's a weird thing within the Gigabyte HQ. It's like one half of the warehouse is cool and the other half is warm, and then they alternate.
That's how Newegg was.
Yeah?
Yeah, because one side of the fucking office was like freezing, and then the other side was like a little warmer than room. I always sat on the side that was fucking freezing. I don't know how. As many times as we rotated seats.
Well, I'm happy to see, or at least happy to know that my next office is going to be everything controlled, central air. Wherever I go, it's going to be nice and cool.
Oh, so you're gonna go in the smaller office?
Yeah, we're going to be moving. It is a bit smaller, which is good and bad. A little bit. So that's happening right now. Anything happening with you, Amber?
Still pregnant.
Still pregnant.
No, what? He's gonna have to stay in there for a little while longer. He's not done yet.
We're feeling the kicks, though.
Yeah, I'm feeling the kicks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm trying to make sure that you say it, that you're feeling the kicks now, which is was a wild thing to see as well, because there's also a bit of a physical sight, like a thing to see now. You know?
Wait till it gets bigger.
Yeah, no, I know, but now it's kind of surprising it's happening so soon.
Well, we're halfway through.
Yeah, it's true.
Apparently, more than I thought, because I moved up the due date.
Yeah. In the past, in the early years of the Books and Brew, I know we haven't been doing it for years, but in the early days of Books and Brew, we usually have a special drink.
At least a year.
We haven't had that in a while.
I can't have
obviously.
alcohol. I just have water.
Maybe the new iteration of Books and Brew will have new cocktails to show off in the future. But right now, we're keeping it healthy. Keeping it nice and healthy.
I mean, you can still have drinks. They just don't have to be alcoholic.
True. You guys within Magic at Mostad are heading towards the Dreamer's now collapsed temple to find Shax and kill him. So we have more vampire adventures tomorrow for our players.
I was just surprised that we circled back to that, because nobody's really thinking about like how the world was created except for that one oddball book. But then again, Evergrey was in one oddball book, and look what happened.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this in the past, that when I first created Magic at Mostad, I was thinking large scale, all of these cities, and more or less it was an adventure of exploring and seeing the lands and seeing these new and interesting cities by looks and aesthetic. I already said that when I do a new campaign, it's going to be smaller, probably more NPCs with more intricate backstories, people who actually feel real.
I mean, the ones we have feel real.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to NPC creation, that is my downfall.
I don't think so. Excuse me, sorry. But like, not all of them can have like this crazy ass backstory. Like, some stick with you more than others. Like, that was Janky and Edward for us in Nomad.
True.
Oh, and Mento, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't have backstories or didn't grow with the story.
Well, beyond what's to come and what I'm trying to improve on, a few announcements for you guys. First of all, a new one-shot coming in next month. Probably the middle of next month, happening around, hoping towards the 15th. If there's any updates, I'll let you guys know. But essentially, it's going to be called the Wizard's Quarrel. A game of pettiness and tomfoolery. It's not going to be a serious one-shot at all.
We're going to start giving away the 1020s again.
We're going to start giving away the 1020s again, working with our buddy Mithril Armory Dave.
And then we have our giveaway for Instagram.
We do. If you didn't know, we have our giveaway happening right now.
Till next Saturday?
I think it's going to end next Saturday, yes. Yeah, we mentioned that it's going to go on for about a week and a half.
I yawned one time, that was it.
You can win yourself a shirt, a sticker, shirt, 2 stickers, and a set of dice from Cozy Gamer, which she makes beautiful dice.
Yeah, I have a lot of them in my bag.
We've had her on the show before within our first, I think one of our very first one-shots.
Yeah.
Or second one.
Second one.
Our second one-shot. And she was lovely, amazing player, and I like the fact that she sort of stepped out of her comfort zone, and I enjoyed that. But yeah, so there's some things to win now. Instagram exclusive, so go on over to our Instagram page to enter in for that. Well, let's talk about today's subject. A particular subject that you used in our last one-shot.
Yep. And so I said, I hope you were not stupid enough to fight her, because you can see those stats.
Well, I feel like we could have took her. So let me ask you a question. This was not the dryad creature that we were facing. This was the middle fight. Right.
This is the lady that was talking to you, and that you had to write the nickname of to get into her domain.
Bav.
Yeah, Bav.
I love that. I love the fact that she's cool enough to just be called Bav.
Well, I mean, not everybody. That's about my emphasis was like, nobody fucking calls her that except for people that like actually know her, and like who else other than a fucking fey leprechaun?
It's true. It feels right.
Would be like that's why he calls her that, like, because he knows her.
It feels 100% right. So Bav, or Bavlorna comes from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is one of our D&D modules that we have here. Let's go and actually show a picture of her right now. She looks like a toad.
She is. She has like amphibian features.
Yeah.
I think she can breathe underwater like one too, from what I remember.
Ooh, oh boy. Well, that's pretty good. Definitely sort of a grayish green toad. Let's go and go into the description of what she is. Bavlorna.
She's a fey hag.
Has a toad-like face with a mouth that magically widens and elongates, enabling her to swallow creatures whole. Her bulging eyes move independently, constantly scanning her surroundings. Stained and molding patchwork garments hide much of the leathery, mummified flesh that stretches over Bavlorna's compact frame, and extraordinarily long, spindly limbs. She has submerged herself in a briny concoction. The wording here is just delicious.
You know, I realized what I did, and I didn't even know it because I read her thing, but maybe I did it mentally and didn't think about it. When you guys were going near her territory, I told you, like, because you did perception checks, and I said, oh, it smells like mold. Totally forgot that was her. So I wasn't saying that on purpose. I just figured, what would it smell like where she is?
No, that makes sense. I feel like as a predator, because hags.
I
get
said
as
compost because they collect weird. I mean, regardless of what they are, most of them collect some type of dead things. But for her, it was like she's in this forest ass swamp area, so she's like, she's probably got stuff composting in certain areas.
I also feel like as a predator, you wouldn't want to give off a scent that was distinctly yours, because then that'll give away to prey where you're at. So if you were living in a place that smelled like that anyways, it'd be like, oh, they don't even know. It's camouflage. To continue on, by the way, the flavoring here and the wording is just delicious. Oh my god. Let's see here. She must submerge herself in a briny concoction for an hour each day, or her bones will dry out until it locks up into a kind of living rigor mortis.
Ew.
She remains this way until submerged. As the hours pass between each immersion, her movements become more ponderous, and her skin audibly cracks and creaks as she moves. Her skin cracks. You can hear it. Ugh. Bavlorna lives like a hermit. She is frazzled, impatient, paranoid, vindictive, lashing out into anyone she thinks is trying to deprive her of her treasures. She is tucked away in her cottage. She trusts no one, so she creates tiny duplicates of herself called lornings to serve as her attendants. When she travels away from her lair, she only does so on her bobbing lily pad, accompanied by some lornings, which use the quickling stat block. Holy shit! The quickling stat block. The quickling as itself can do 4 attacks a round, and they're fast. I think they have a base speed of 60 or 120.
I didn't want to do that though, because I was just like, she was there more as like the monarch for that area. That's why I was like, I hope you're shot. I mean, I kept her stats just in case you were dumb enough. But
well, she is part of the Hourglass Coven, which again is all about the Witchlight story. So you did essentially took this story character from this world, put it into yours, which I absolutely believe is perfect because they're still within the Feywild.
yeah, I still can't. I mean, after reading all that, I don't know if O'Malley's still gonna want to date her.
Yeah, I'm sure not.
I don't know. You may like her more.
So the Witchlight actually still does provide some details in terms of the personality, ideals, basically anything you want to do for a personality test. She's a neutral evil. She detests chores and would rather have other creatures do them for her, which I think is why the Lornings are a creation of hers. Ideal, I don't care about the past or the future. I live in the present. I do what I do now, and this moment is all that matters. That makes sense because she has to dunk herself every day, so it's more like I have to survive today. I'll worry about tomorrow. Bond, I'm safe in my cottage. Why should I leave it when I can just make others come to me?
Yeah.
I guess this is an instance where we got a rare scene of her talking to us outside of her cottage. And flaws. Watching someone run in Windershins makes me sneeze uncontrollably. You didn't read this.
No, I didn't read that part.
I read her stats, and it's very interesting, but we're going to get to that in just a second. Bavlorna, Lorna, is a night hag.
I said fae.
Let's see here. Well, hags are fae.
Oh. I didn't know that. I just read fae.
I believe she is a night hag, or she is a swamp hag, but I don't believe the 5e actually has swamp hags. So I believe she is a night hag. Night hags are fae creatures, fae monsters who sort of feed and dwell within those, like the nightmarish minds, has abilities within the hag race. But specifically, they can induce horrifying dreams within their hosts. Let's see here. I actually started to get a little detail on kind of like hags in general, sort of like historical details about them. essentially, hag is an old English term for witch, which the similarities for like Dutch is like Heks, which is hex, which then when you turn to German is Hexe, so hex, which is really cool to think about. So in German, like a hex is a hag.
I was gonna say it'd be cool because they have hex bloods, which are hag-born.
Yeah. So in German, it means your hag blood, which is really cool. Essentially, they're also interchangeable with the term crone, which essentially is a very stock
old crone.
An old crone, you know, kind of angry or malevolent old woman who generally has some sort of druidic powers. In folklore, they call it druidic because it's not like arcane. You know, they have powers over nature and making use of like the elements around them or their swamplands or the forest they live in to make concoctions. You've been hagged, hexed. That's what the spell hex means. You've been hagged. The oldest term for it is the old hag. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just saying the lore in general for this was fucking weird because I learned there wasn't. I forget why now because it's been so long. I have the freaking thing pinned, but like why there wasn't female leprechauns, even though we had female.
Oh, was there a reason why?
Yeah, like I was reading and then I forgot why because I was looking up what they like and what they don't like, what they would eat, and then like all your magical items were just like either shit they liked or shit they eat or drink. Apparently they do drink whiskey. Yeah. Or alcohol. Or mead.
So there's
but, there wasn't supposed to be any, and I forget why, but there was like an underlying reason, but it was like there was no female leprechauns, and I was like, but how do y'all procreate? Just like poof.
Hey, Feywild, man.
Poof. Now you're a leprechaun.
So there are actually very famous hags in folklore, as well as media in general. First of all, a hag, or the old hag, was a nightmare spirit in English and North American folklore, so it did come from essentially America. However, there are long-term traces that go beyond the word hag, that stretch into Slavic folklore, Germany, essentially, very much so, and beyond.
I was gonna say Germany's has
Irish and Scottish folklore have other things as well. Some of the most famous ones are the hag from Hansel and Gretel. Very famous story.
I thought it was said that I know it's a movie, but I thought they said that like the Wicked Witch was also a hag versus like the Good Witch.
The Wicked Witch of the West definitely is a hag. And it is marked as one of the most famous media hags out there. Another one that's the most famous media hags out there is Baba Yaga. Which is the Slavic thing. Slavic folklore, where a hag that lives in the woods in a house with chicken legs that walks I've
seen the book.
Yeah.
There is a book with a house of chicken legs. I don't know.
No, that's Baba Yaga. And she's supposed to be like the most powerful one. And in D&D, I believe
they statted her out.
Tasha's.
Yeah.
Tasha's is Baba Yaga's adopted daughter. And we actually have Tasha's culture. Everything she makes mentions of Mama Yaga, who has taught her magic. I've used Baba Yaga in campaigns before. She's fun. Yeah, very well known, which is amazing. I'm trying to think if there's any other famous. Oh, the White Queen.
Oh, Snow White.
From Snow White. Definitely a hag in disguise.
Yeah, the way she could shift.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's any other famous hags out there.
I don't know.
There probably is. But we just, right now, it's just herding us. The Three Fates within Greek mythos
Oh.
are depicted as hags.
They kind of look haggish, depending on who you're talking to.
But I don't know if those are considered hags. They don't seem vindictive. You know, they're just doing their job. They're natural force.
Medusa wasn't a hag. Medusa was
A beautiful woman that...
fucked up. Fuck, that story's fucked up.
I actually know that story. It's a woman, Medusa, who was a beautiful woman who went to the temple of, I think, Aphrodite, and looked at the statues while everyone was worshiping her and was like, I'm way more beautiful than Aphrodite. It might not be Aphrodite, but I know she went into a female god and was like, I'm way more beautiful, and they cursed her to be ugly. And to any man to look at her or any other person would turn to stone.
Okay, well, I know an alternative version that's more fucked up.
What do you know?
Same, I don't know whose temple she went in, but like one of the gods or something tried to like sexually assault her, so she cried like, or rape her or something, and she cried out to whoever's temple she was in, and then they were like, fine, I'll fix it for you where no man will ever touch you again, and then they made her into Medusa.
Here it is. When Medusa had an affair with the sea goddess Poseidon, Athena punished her. She turned Medusa into a hideous hag. Hey, what do you know? Making her hair withering snakes, and her skin was turned to a greenish hue. Anyone who locked gaze with Medusa turned to stone. A point to Shady.
I thought there's another term for her though.
A Gorgon.
Yeah, there you go.
She's a Gorgon. Yeah. I'm sure there's different retellings of her story.
Oh, I know. But there's always like I mean, we always made the joke, and I am one, so it's not so much a joke, but like you can't be a man or a woman in Greek mythos, but you really shouldn't be a woman in Greek mythos.
There's one woman in Greek mythos that is really cool, and I can't remember her name, and I'll find it later.
Hera?
No, remember she was raised by bears, and she didn't give a shit about guys?
It's not Hera?
I don't know. I just told you I don't know.
I don't think she was raised by bears, but I know one of them's like a huntress.
Yeah, that might be it too. Well, anyways, let's go into Bavlorna's weakness, which is really Atalanta? I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Atalanta. She's goddamn cool. Anyways, Bavlorna's weakness. So you heard about her going into uncontrollable sneezes if you do a thing called Windershins.
Yeah, I didn't read that part.
Do you know what Windershins are?
No. I just told you.
Bavlorna is allergic to the sight of creatures running counterclockwise in circles. A motion known as running winter-shins. Creatures that run winter-shins within 10 feet of Bavlorna. I can't say her name for shit.
Bavlorna.
Causes her to lapse into a fit of sneezing. See the stat block for more details. Did you look at the stat block?
I did, but I didn't read that part. And I was only gonna like have her be what I wanted her to be. I mean, if y'all started running circles, I don't know about that.
Winter shins. So, she is a hag, AC of 15. She's only an AC. We could have kicked her butt. Come on.
I feel like if you would have fought her and then fought the Banshee, y'all would have died.
I would have been fine.
Not if she would have got that second scream on you. You would have dropped to 0 hit.
It's true. It's true. She has 110 hit points. Her biggest stat here is strength and con and intelligence. She is a strong, beefy, smart woman who's ready to wreck your shit.
Who's ugly, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. She has true sight up to 60 feet. Ain't no tricking this woman at all. Which is
yeah, that's why I was like,
amazing.
if one of you guys went invisible, I was gonna use that because she would sense you guys. She would know where you were at. That's why I was like, I hope somebody doesn't fucking use
you
that.
can still stealth away. Like if someone was stealthing away, even though you could technically see them, if you don't pop up in their radar,
Yeah.
you're fine. But if you were like I go invisible right in front of her.
I go tiptoe right in front of her.
I can see you. So, first one is she's amphibious. Obviously, she has sort of that frog theme going on right now. She can breathe both air and water. Mm-hmm. Says here, she's also has the boon of immortality. Excuse me? The fuck? Is this what you mean we would lose?
I just didn't think you could fight her and live and then go fight the other lady.
Oh, here it is. Bavlorna is immune to any effect that would age her. She cannot die from old age. Never mind. She doesn't have the boon of yeah, she doesn't really have immortality. More or less, she just doesn't age. She's ageless.
I don't know about not aging, but maybe just not dying of natural causes.
Yeah. Winter shins allergy.
That's such a weird thing to have.
If a creature, well, I like hags because they have these weird things.
I think the only one that maybe would have figured out to run counterclockwise was you or O'Malley drunk.
How would I figure? No, I was playing a dumb character. I would never figured that out.
No, I know by accidentally doing it just because you were so hyper aggressive as a character.
It says here, if a creature within 10 feet of Barcelona uses at least 10 feet of movement to run in place, so you'd have to minus 10 feet. Your character stays in place. That was your 10 feet of movement. Let's see here. Bavlorna is overcome by a fit of sneezing and can't cast spells until the end of her next turn. In addition, any creature that Bavlorna has swallowed is immediately expelled and falls prone. That's nice to know if we knew it. If we knew it. So yeah, she has actions.
I was gonna say, I don't know how you would find that out other than maybe know your enemy, but I don't know if that's a stat you would give for a know your enemy.
Honestly, I think this is the type of creature.
Yeah, kind of metagame that. Yeah, I know. You wouldn't know.
No, this is a mini boss, or this is a big dungeon end, and you were doing your research before you went to go fight her. This is one of those things you go to a town and they're like, we have a hag in our swamps and we want you to get rid of it, and then you have to go, well, what is it? Who is it?
My question is who got close enough and lived if this is still a problem to tell you had to run around like an idiot so she would start sneezing?
Well, as a DM, I can tell you this much. You would probably provide your characters this information only if they were rolling really well for knowledge. I went to a library to look up this hag. Or you overheard it by an old, member of the village who's also heard about tales about the winter shins.
I agree with the roll, but I also agree with Shady. I feel like you'd have to roll real high to be yeah, by the way, you gotta...
If they knew that, they wouldn't, I would say a random villager.
Either that or just if they have myth, they have, how not every town, but the lore thing is they have stories going around town oh, she does this or oh, she does that, nightmares for kids.
It'd be great if you went to a town that this was a common folk tale to scare their kids, but it was real, and there's that one person, that one crazy guy who was you ever heard of winter shins? The hags don't like it, and then it's up to your players whether or not you want to believe this crazy guy or not.
No, they're oh, he's nuts. That's not a thing.
And then one person goes, I'm gonna try it, and then it works. I say when monsters have these small details, don't throw them away. Have it somewhere for your players to find. It might be difficult, but don't throw it away. Or have it in a nursery rhyme. Yeah, that's perfect.
I feel like I steered you guys in the right direction of not fighting her because she was very much far away from you. She wasn't getting in the fray. She was I'm going to have my minions do my thing, and then if maybe you defeat them, we'll have a conversation.
I have a hair somewhere on me.
Now you know how I feel.
It sucks.
It's Keek's hair.
I don't know what it is. All right. Well, let's get into her actions. First of all, she can make one bite attack and one withering ray attack. Excuse me? Fuck you, that's what. Bite attack is a +9 to hit. That sucker's gonna hit you.
Unless she rolls a 1.
Unless she rolls a 1. 5-foot reach. That's weird. I thought she had long limbs.
I
Whatever.
made her have long limbs.
No, she does. She's described as how she only has 5 foot reach.
Oh.
She does 2d6 plus 6 points of damage. That's pretty solid. That's a solid amount. And the creature is grappled. So upon hit, you're grappled, and you need a DC 16 to escape. Athletics check.
I just appreciated that everything was bigger than you guys. Like when Nick was like, so are they that big? And I'm like, well, no, I did that for a visual, but I'm going to go with because you guys are already so small, they probably look that big to you, but to regular people, they're probably maybe in the 6 foot category. But you guys are like 3 feet at
Tiny
best,
dash.
3.5. So
Now, let's see here. Let's go ahead and use the Withering Ray, which is a ranged spell attack, which she can do a +6 to hit. So it's a little less than the bite, or the claw. Which is, oh, the bite. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, it's a bite. She doesn't have... You're right. It is a bite attack. My bad. It does 4d6 plus 3 points of damage. Necrotic damage. She can do Create Learnings. It's a rechargeable thing, like a breath weapon for a dragon. You have to roll a d6 to see if you get it back, but it does cost an action. Bavlorna creates one or two 1 foot tall duplicate of herself, called a Learning. Use the Quickling stat block. Each Learning appears in an occupied space 5 feet of Bavlorna, and obeys her commands, and it takes its turn immediately after hers. It can only last for an hour. Also, she cannot have more than 8 learnings in existence at a time. She just barfs up one. A little duplicate. A little 1 foot duplicate. That's weird. That's wild. I love hacks so much. They're so cool.
see, then they finally would have been something smaller than you guys.
Yeah, it's true. Also, if we were to fight her and you were actually using that ability, it would be a lot worse for us.
I went with I got stuff out of D&D, and then I got stuff out of
Challenge rating 7.
Irish lore, which I thought was more fun. So then I just changed certain stats for certain things.
It says here that she can cast a few spells with her spell DC being 14. At will, she can only a 7. Only a 7. Quicklings are fucking badass. Let's not joke around. 4 attacks around, 60 feet base speed, I think, that or 120. They don't fuck around. And having 8 of those guys around you? No, you're done. She can cast Detect Magic at will. She can do this twice a day, one of these spells. Create Food or Water, Polymorph, or Remove Curse. And she can only do this once a day, and she can only cast it on herself. Plane Shift. That's if she decides to visit the material plane. She only has like a 10 HP or something. She has 110. But she has a 15 AC.
She's kind of weirdly statted, where you could hit her, but if her ability gets you, you're fucked. It's I think it gives you a little bit of false confidence.
She doesn't have any legendary actions. However, she does have a bonus action. Swallow. This woman swallows a small or smaller creature she is grappled with.
She could have ate you guys.
She could have ate us. Ending the grapple on it. So if she bites you, she grapples you. Then she can swallow you as a bonus action. You are blind and restrained. Obviously, you're in her stomach. And says here that you take 3d6 acid damage at the start of her turn. And it says here she can only swallow one creature at a time. So.
Oh, she can only eat one of you at a time.
Yeah. But that means she bites, swallows, she has her mouth free again. She can bite again. She can't swallow another person, but she can still bite and then ray people. That's wild. She's actually really cool. There are more hags within the Feywild book we have here, but we'll talk about those later. But yeah, that is Bavlorna. But just don't worry. If you could just spin around in circles, you'll be fine.
Maybe in panic, somebody with high anxiety might be able to get it if that's their anxiety trigger.
And then it says here that if you do that, she throws you up if she swallowed you.
It would be what's his name? Rupert from the 80s one shot, because he was running in circles. He would have been okay.
I feel like Rupert would have done that 100%. Wouldn't even know about it. No metagaming, just something that they do.
Yeah, because that was something he just did because he was afraid of everything.
But yeah, she's definitely interesting. Bright Straw is her last name. Bright Straw.
Blight Straw.
Blight. That was bright. She is a part of the Hourglass Coven. That sounds awesome as shit. I love it.
Yeah, like I said, I just threw her in there because I didn't need you to fight her. I just needed you to go into her domain and fight the other things.
Out of curiosity, when we did the Lucky Trove, what base did you put the final boss as? What was she?
Challenge rating 12?
No, like what was she?
She was a banshee.
She was a banshee?
But she had a banshee stats mixed with I forget what he is. He's like a creepy snake person, but I liked his stats. So
Yeah,
I kind of mutant mashed.
I think the reason why she's challenge rating 7 is because of the circles, the circle thing. I feel like as a DM, it's like one of those things like you hear about it and it becomes a lot easier to fight her. But still, she's pretty OP. In terms of the damage output, though, she's doing like 2d6, 3d6 points of damage plus 6 or plus 3. If you attack her with like maybe a level 7 party of 4 or so, you can probably wipe her out quickly.
Yeah, I made like the banshee fae mixed with undead.
Well, you know what? No. She should be higher challenge rating because she can create duplicates.
Hey man, I didn't write the book.
Hold on, what's the quickling stat? Okay. Quicklings. They have a base speed of 120 feet. They have an AC of 16, and they only have 10 HP, so they are glass cannons.
Easy to kill, bitch to hit.
Yeah, easy to kill. If you could just get them in a fireball, you're fun. You're done. But they're probably going to be out of your range by the time they move.
Yeah.
Okay, quicklings can make 3 attacks with their daggers. It's a plus 6 to hit, and each hit is 1d4 plus 4 points of damage.
Yeah, they have a good output and speed, but they don't have good HP. So, I mean, you just need to be able to hit one really hard.
They also have evasion, making them able to make dexterity saving throws and only taking half damage or taking no damage.
Those bitches and then hit them.
Oh, I apologize. It's not a plus 6 to hit, it's a plus 8 to hit. And it's a plus 1d4 plus 6 points of damage.
Yeah, somebody needs to stun them.
Oh my god.
The other person needs to go and hit them.
They also have blurred movement. Attacks rolls against quicklings have disadvantage unless the quickling is incapacitated or restrained. So you have disadvantage on hitting these guys regardless.
So I say you're going to have to stun them or hold person.
Fire.
Or hold
we can do
creature.
Fireball. Shit. Arms of Adar? What's a range spell that doesn't rely on an area effect that doesn't rely on dex?
You can hold person or hold monster.
I know, but if she's spewing multiple clones, how do you get them all? Magic missile? They only have 10 HP. That might work.
What about the little I always think of the unicorn hamsters. I use it, but it's technically
Guardians of Faith?
Yeah, because it's like
That'll
a radius.
Work. It's like 3d6 points of damage. That'll hit
and
over 10.
if they go in there to try and hit you.
They don't have a range. They have to get close. That's a smart way to doing it, yeah. Because that's a wisdom save too. Magic missile also always hits. That's correct. You can send 3 magic missiles, so if you're lucky, you could probably kill one with just 2 missiles.
If you got them in a range, I wonder if you just reverse gravity. Throw them up and
The funny
drop
about
them.
reverse gravity, I think it covers like 100-foot radius.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can get them in range,
You just see them all
reverse it.
running away, and you're just like,
And and then drop.
Done. They have to make acrobatics checks to see if they land on their feet, but when they land on their feet, they die because it's 100-foot drop. Doesn't matter if you can land on your feet. That's your knees are going into your throat at that point.
At least for their size, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that they will attack you before you do. That's correct. They have, let me see what their initiative is. Oh, they just use their dex. They have a plus... These challenge rating 1 creatures, have a +6 to initiative.
Yeah, they're OP. They just have low hit points, pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah, they're going to get you quick. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. We absolutely got to cover a very lovely woman who, you know, definitely is
Father O'Malley's new crush.
Yeah, automatically hit right after she does. That's right. You know, after she ends her turn, they go, and they have a +8 to hit, so they're more than likely going to hit. Quicklings are just assholes. I'll just say that much. But yeah, so I think that's where we're going to end today's Books and Brew. Hopefully you come by next time. We'll be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for episode... Excuse me, 58. Did you see it? It was there in my chest, and it didn't go away until I had to let it out. So yeah, we'll be back with 58, Magic and Mosstead. I have a feeling that this is going to be the end of our Inaberry Island story arc.
Either by winning or by death.
I'm not pulling any punches. You guys are level what? 13?
12.
12. You're getting up there. I think you also might, depending if you survive, you might actually level up midway through the story, because it's the moment you get rid of Shax. I've got 1100k channel points. Well, hopefully you either help or hinder our players. So
Help, Shady, help.
no hinder.
You can
All right,
hinder the DM.
Thanks for joining us. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.